Hello, my friends. Hope you're doing well. Have you ever made a mistake? Of course you have. We all have. Mistakes are a part of life, like the air we breathe or the water we drink. No one is perfect, and no one can live a life without making errors. But here is the most important truth. Mistakes are not our enemies. Mistakes are our teachers. They are like hidden doors that lead to wisdom and success if we dare to open them. When a child first learns to walk, wobbles and stumbles are not failures, but steps toward balance. Each fall teaches a shift in weight, a stronger push, or a steadier gaze. In the same way, every error we commit offers us insight into our own strengths and weaknesses. When we learn from our mistakes, we build a foundation of understanding that simple success never could provide. Success without struggle can feel thin, like a paper-thin pancake that tears at the slightest touch. Success earned through overcoming challenges feels rich and satisfying, like a warm meal shared among friends after a long journey. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a vast forest. In front of you stretches a path winding through tall trees. You cannot see what lies beyond the next bend. Some travelers rush forward without hesitation. They admire the sunshine through the leaves and cheer at birdsong, but sooner or later they lose their way among the roots. Others hesitate, afraid of the unknown, and never set foot on the path. They watch from the sidelines, regret filling each breath of air they take. A few brave souls step forward, and when they trip over a hidden root, they pause, examine the root, learn its shape and position, and move on with caution. They understand that stumbling is part of the journey, not a sign to stop moving. This is how life works. Each of us stands at our own forest edge, facing choices and challenges we do not fully understand. Mistakes are the roots hidden beneath fallen leaves. When we stumble, we have two options: to blame the forest or to learn about the roots. One choice keeps us stuck, but the other sets us free. When we learn from our mistakes, we unlock the power of progress. Learning from mistakes begins with honesty. It takes courage to admit when we have done something wrong. Our first instinct is often to hide our error, to pretend it never happened. We might whisper a quick excuse or place the blame on someone else. But each excuse is a brick in the wall between us and growth. True learning demands that we tear down those walls. Only by accepting responsibility do we clear the path for understanding. Consider the young student who miscalculates in a math test. She might say, "The instructions were unclear," or "I was unlucky." But if she instead sits down with her teacher, examines each step, and finds the exact moment that her logic failed, she not only corrects that mistake, but strengthens her skill. She learns a new method for careful reading of questions or a new approach for checking her work. The next time she faces a challenging problem, she carries this hard-earned knowledge like a talisman. Honesty must be paired with reflection. Reflection is the act of turning our gaze inward to examine what happened. It is not enough to notice that something went wrong. We must ask why. We might wonder if our planning was weak, if our actions were too rushed, or if our assumptions were misguided. Reflection helps us uncover the root causes of our mistakes. Without it, we risk repeating the same error again and again, like a hamster running on a wheel that goes nowhere. Take, for example, someone who starts a small business and finds that sales are much lower than expected. If that entrepreneur simply blames the market or the location, they will likely continue the same approach and fail once more. But if they reflect on their marketing strategy, their product pricing, or their customer outreach, they can discover new tactics to try. Perhaps they learn that their message did not resonate with customers, or that they overestimated the demand for a certain feature. With this insight, they adjust their plan and give their venture a stronger chance to succeed. Once we have honestly admitted our mistake and reflected on its causes, the next step is to seek feedback. We cannot learn in isolation. We need the wisdom of others. Feedback is like holding up a mirror to our efforts. When the mirror is clear and honest, we can see our errors more precisely. Feedback can come from friends, teachers, mentors, or even through self-assessment tools. The key is to welcome feedback without defensiveness. Imagine a musician preparing for a concert. They cannot simply play through a song 100 times in front of themselves and expect perfect performance. They need a coach or fellow musicians to watch, listen, and point out where the tempo drags or the notes wobble. Each piece of feedback leads to a small correction, a shift of a finger, a change in breathing, a slight adjustment in posture. Over time, these tiny corrections add up to a polished performance. Applying feedback to our mistakes requires us to have a growth mindset. That belief that our abilities and intelligence can develop with effort. When we have a fixed mindset, we see our traits as set in stone. A mistake then feels like a reflection of our identity. I am not a math person, or I am just bad at presenting. But with a growth mindset, a mistake is a sign that our skills are not yet fully formed. It is a stepping stone to improvement. We tell ourselves, I can get better with practice, or every setback is a chance to learn. The power of a growth mindset becomes clear when we look at inventors and innovators. Thomas Edison famously tested thousands of materials before he found the right filament for the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said he did not fail 1,000 times. He found 1,000 ways that did not work. Each failure was simply a lesson pointing toward the correct solution. If Edison had seen those experiments as proof of his inadequacy, he might have given up. But by embracing each mistake as an opportunity to learn, he illuminated the world. Learning from mistakes also involves taking action. Reflection and feedback are vital, but without real change in behavior, they remain academic exercises. We must apply what we have learned in new situations. This is the most exciting part of the process, testing our new knowledge in the real world. It can be scary because we risk failing again, but it is also energizing because we carry a new set of tools. Picture an athlete who has been missing free throws in basketball. After analyzing their form and receiving coaching, the athlete changes their stance and adjusts their release. Then, at the next practice, they shoot free throws using the new technique. Each shot is not only a shot at scoring, but also an experiment testing their improved approach. The first few may still miss, but with each attempt, the athlete grows more confident and more skilled. As we practice applying our new understanding, we build resilience. Resilience is the capacity to bounce back from difficulties. It grows stronger each time we recover from a mistake. Like a rubber band that stretches and returns to shape, we become more flexible. This flexibility allows us to adapt when circumstances change. Resilience, built through learning from mistakes, is what helps people face life's greatest challenges. In moments of loss or disappointment, they draw upon the memory of past errors overcome. They remember how they once thought they could not improve, yet step by step, they mastered new skills. This recollection gives them hope and strength to persevere once more. Learning from mistakes also deepens our empathy. When we recognize our own flaws and missteps, we become more understanding of others. We know how it feels to falter, to be judged harshly, or to feel shame. With this awareness, we can respond to others with kindness rather than criticism. We can offer guidance instead of blame. Imagine a teacher who recalls the confusion they felt when first learning a subject. That teacher may be more patient with struggling students, explaining concepts in different ways until they click. A manager who has faced setbacks in leadership will be more encouraging to team members, providing support rather than punishment when errors occur. In this way, learning from mistakes benefits not just ourselves, but everyone around us. The journey of learning from mistakes is never-ending. Even the greatest experts make errors. What sets them apart is their relentless curiosity and humility. They know that no matter how much they know, there is always more to learn. They greet each day with an openness to new experiences and a readiness to examine their own actions. Mistakes become signposts on a map that is constantly being redrawn. This mindset transforms how we live. Instead of fearing errors, we welcome them as invitations to grow. We become experimenters in our own lives, willing to try new approaches, to take calculated risks, and to celebrate each lesson learned. Our failures become the seeds of our future successes. When we embrace mistakes as teachers, our world becomes a classroom. Every relationship, every project, every challenge offers a lesson. We cultivate curiosity as our guiding star, asking, "What can this moment teach me?" rather than, "Why did this happen to me?" This shift in perspective brings excitement and possibility. Life becomes not a smooth highway, but an adventurous trail full of discoveries. As you move forward in your own journey, remember this: your mistakes are precious. They are clues to your hidden strengths and gaps. They point you to areas where you can grow. They reveal your passions and your drives. They whisper secrets of innovation, resilience, and empathy. When you learn from your mistakes, you unlock doors you never knew existed. You find new paths to explore and new heights to climb. So the next time you falter, pause and reflect. Look at your mistake with curiosity and kindness. Seek feedback from those you trust. Apply what you learn with confidence. And remember that every error you make is a gift, wrapped in the paper of challenge, waiting to reveal the treasure of understanding within. Mistakes are not signposts of defeat, but markers on the road to mastery. When you open your mind to learn from each misstep, you begin a lifelong journey of growth. You become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. You transform fear into courage and uncertainty into opportunity. Embrace your mistakes. Learn from them. Let them guide you toward your best self. Your journey is yours to write, and each mistake is a chapter in the story of your becoming. Keep turning the pages, keep learning, and keep growing. The forest ahead is full of hidden roots, but with each step, you will learn how to navigate them, and the path will become yours.